Hello folks, I'm going to talk today about RestTemplate and how we use that in SpringBoot. So let's get going. You guys already know how to set up SpringBoot if you look at my earlier videos. So jumping into the POM XML, I basically created a SpringBoot project as web, which is here, and then I've also used the main library that you need for RestTemplate, which is the HTTP client. These are the two libraries that you pretty much use for this project, and I've set this up, and we can just go through one of the bean that I've set up called employees, and I kind of show you what this is all about. So I've gone into Postman. I have some data, so I'm kind of doing a read to it. If I hit a send request, it comes back with this data, right? And now what I want to do is say I want to update this, say to a put request. So go back here, go into put, and then go into body. I'm going to paste that here for that record. I'm going to call this Joe1, John1, right? And then send. It updated that. The same thing with post request. So I take post. I don't have any record. Say I'm creating a new record. Go into the body, that in here, call this 8, right? And I'm just going to hit a post request. So you see that it created a new record. If you want to go see if that was created, let's do an 8. So let's do this. Suppose, right, body, right, send. I do see a 200. Okay, so if I do a get for 8, right, there you go. So it's basically a CRUD, and the same thing with delete. If I go into delete and then delete this record, go back to get, and you don't see that record. So this is pretty much what we are going to build. I built this for a bean called employee. We will call another one called books and kind of go through this of how we can build this RESTful web services easily using RestTemplate. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going into the domain, and then I'm just going to create a class bean called product. And let's call private and just say ID private string private string name of the product. Okay, private string description. I don't want to keep this going for a long time in terms of the number of fields, so let's do this int cost, right, and that should be it. And let's do let's generate our getter and setters and on the construct. So let's do this. So the construct, all of them, right, and then the getter and setter. this should be now pretty much standard that I've done this in a couple of courses. You'll get a hang of what I'm trying to do. I'm setting up the bean. This is pretty much a standard Java thing concept where you got to have your getter and setter for your model. So I'm just going to create a construct with no argument. So that's pretty much it for the bean. Now let's go into the controller. So let me show you what I have for an employee REST controller. We're going to mimic something similar for a product. It has the mapping for all the controllers. Like if you look at here, you see that it has the get mapping with the path variable. The same thing here with all the other CRUDs that you're using. So I'm just kind of running through this really quick. This is for the delete that you have. This is for post. This is the post mapping where you need to send some header information. That's what you have there. We go through this one by one as we code through this and makes things a little clearer. What I wanted to also emphasize is that a lot of the things here are pretty much boilerplate code. For example, these 5 classes that you see, you don't have to touch anything here. This is basically coming out of the box from SpringBoot. You just add them into the config folder and you're good to go. We can kind of go through this too to just read through what this is all about, but it's pretty much a boilerplate code. You don't have to really code anything here. So it talks about the logging, and then you have the constants like the timeouts, the request timeout, the connection timeout. And then this is the error handling. So this is all coming out of the box from Spring Boot, which I have not coded. I've just put it into this folder. So you can see how simple it is. You pretty much just want 2 things to do here. One is to create the bean, which we did already for product, and the only other thing that you need to do is build the controller, and that's what I'm going to do now.